I have a question from Amy, and she says, how do I deal with a mental, emotional, spiritual, work related breakup? In her story, she has a mentor that she's been working with, and it was no longer a fit. They were no longer feeding her light or energizing her towards her vision, and she was actually courageous enough to end the relationship. First of all, I want to commend you, Amy, and let you know that I acknowledge you for having the courage to end the relationship. It's not always easy to cut ties with somebody or even have that difficult conversation. But as well, I think it's important to note that you looked at your values, you looked at yourself, you looked at what you were getting in return for that relationship, and you were clear and aware enough to decide that it wasn't right for you anymore. So that is huge. When it comes to breakups, in my opinion, at least, loss is loss. Whether someone has passed away or not, it's loss. It's grief. It could be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship, a mentorship, a professional relationship. When you've lost something, it hurts. It sucks. And that process of grief is losing that old connection, losing those conversations that you used to have together, losing the potential path you would have had if you stayed in relationship together. If you look up the steps of grief, there's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Everyone goes through it in their own timeline. Everyone goes through it in their own different order. So there's no specific sequence that you're going to go in, but that grief is going to hurt. It's going to suck. So how do you deal with it? I believe dealing with it simply means actually being with it and being in it. Give yourself permission to feel exactly how you're feeling. Give yourself permission to be exactly where you are. There's no way that you should be responding and reacting. There's no way that you shouldn't be experiencing and feeling this loss. There's no perfect way for it to happen. I think that taking some time to actually allow yourself to go through the emotions of it is extremely important. So often, we have the tendency to want to rush into the next thing. We want to avoid what we're feeling and distract ourselves with something else. Take your pick. Overeating, overindulging. It could be substances. It could be alcohol. It could be food. It could be people. We use people as medication too. Whatever it is, notice the things that you are using to avoid yourself and realize that that's just part of the process. There's nothing bad about it. You're going to go and distract and avoid what's going on inside. But notice when it does happen and then just go back to what you were doing. Go back and feel what you're feeling. Go and be exactly where you are. Because processing this is going to be huge. The reason why I think that's important is because you want to develop a deeper level of awareness. You were courageous enough to decide that this relationship was not in alignment with your values anymore. You want to make sure that the next relationship that you find yourself in, next mentorship relationship, romantic relationship, whatever it is, it's not a duplication of the past. And the reason why we find ourselves in this cycle of choosing the same kind of partner, choosing the same kind of friends, choosing the same kind of mentors, whether it might be just destructive or dysfunctional or codependent or whatever it is, it's because we haven't deepened our awareness in that area. So when you have this process of self-inquiry, of asking yourself a couple of questions, maybe you want to write this down. What am I making this person wrong for? What could I take responsibility for? What did I learn from this relationship? What did I give in this relationship? Who have I become because of this relationship? How has this relationship changed my perspective of myself, of people, of the world, my relationship to relationships? And then, what do I want to learn next in relationships? What do I want to create next? When we take stock, when we take a good look at deepening our awareness, we actually have a greater chance of having the future be a reflection of our truth, a reflection of our values. When you clear space out of your schedule, mentally, emotionally, time-wise, when you free yourself by cutting ties, by ending something, it makes room for a new beginning. You become an invitation for something else. And without awareness, there's a high likelihood that you're going to just repeat the past. So that's what I would have to say. And sure, the relationship may have ended in a bitter way, leaving a horrible taste in your mouth. And it might sting and hurt for a while, and it might have us want to close up our heart and protect ourselves and not want to let anybody in. That's going to be a natural tendency that happens to all of us. But remember, there's experiences that you had with this person that are magical. There was a connection that you had that you got value from. There are lessons and insights that you taught them, that they taught you. It makes it even more special in a way, this relationship, because it did just happen in this short period of time. And maybe that's all relationships are, just for that period of time. But also allow for discovery. That's been a big thing for me, a big theme for me. Allow for discovery from the universe, because who knows? Maybe this relationship reinvents itself in the future. Maybe you reconnect and cross paths again at some other point in your life. Whatever it is, be where you are, feel what you feel, realize that you're going to go through grief because there's loss, and that's going to take time, it's going to take energy, and there's no exact way it's supposed to happen. Create awareness around what happened, what occurred, what you learned, what you want to learn and create next. And just be open. Be open to this new beginning. I guess the last thing I would say is just acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge yourself for having the courage to decide that this relationship needed to end. It's you taking a stand for yourself. It's you taking a stand for your worth and your value. And that is a huge, huge sign, at least to me, that you are stepping deeper and deeper into your truth, into your power, into your possibility. And that's it. I hope that helps. I hope that supports you. It's definitely not answers, maybe just other things to consider and think about. If you got value from this, please share this video. If you got something out of it, make a comment. Let me know. If you have other questions that you would like me to talk about in a future video, put them in the comments below or send me a private message on Facebook, and I'll do the best I can. Thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day.